Well, you've heard of all the accolades about me. Uh, but you haven't heard about all the really stupid things I've done in my life. I'm actually very klutzy, but I've kept it a well secret. I didn't pass my first driver's license in New Jersey, or I should say New Jersey. I was asked to leave a Catholic high school because of misconduct. It's a Lady of the Valley High School in Orange, New Jersey. I'm sorry. And by the way, we asked Sister Veronica to say the invocation because I have my New York and New Jersey relatives, so I wanted them to hear their native dialect. And she did a great job. Let's hear it for Sister Veronica. Oh! I'm talking here. After reinstatement, I had to bring my mother and father to this high school. I was thrown out of chorus for singing bass. I was also not allowed to sing in my brother's rock band because I threw them off. They were really good singers. Remember that? And in order to get my $100 a night, I had to do stand-up. I was awful. It was just absolutely awful. Terrible. I came in last in our relay team in high school, dead last. While taking cello lessons, I was dropped from class for not making progress. It was a failure on the cello. I loved the cello, but I couldn't make it. I was fired as a bagger as a teenager. I was called the absolute worst bagger of all time. I took the eggs down, I took the big bottles of Coca-Cola and dropped them on the eggs and kept going. I thought it was a speed contest. So, it's not. I once got a speeding ticket in Poland, Ohio. Anyone here get a speeding ticket in Poland? I was doing 26 miles an hour in a 25-mile zone. And I was told, I went with what was his name? Dr. Jim. I was going to contest it. He says, you're not going to win it. Wait and see. And I didn't. I went to court, pleaded not guilty. I was only going, she says, boom, $50 fine, $50 course, court costs, next. I never made second class rank in scouting. I don't know how many. And by the way, Mark Majavic is an Eagle Scout. All right. For those who know, an Eagle Scout. And also, we have another Eagle Scout here, Tommy. Stand up, Tommy. But I never made second class. I failed to make the Little League team in New Jersey. You had to try out for it, and I dropped a few fly balls, and that was it. Nobody gets cut from Little League anymore. I crashed my first U-Control model airplane with a crowd of 50 onlookers. Where's Troy? Did you do Troy? Yeah. I didn't learn to swim until I was 40. I capsized my first sailboat and had to be rescued. This one you like, June. I was 20 minutes late for my wedding in church. What a klutz this guy is.
Why did she wait?
I wasn't a good Cub Scout leader because I didn't follow the blue and gold manual. When we have someone in Cub Scout, who was in Cub Scouts? We have them, look, raise your hand, stand up. These are my Cub Scout guys. Come on, Eric, you were there too. These guys, believe it or not, are very, very successful, very talented for some of the skills that they learn in Wolfpack, it's Cub Scouts. I didn't follow the blue and gold, but we used to have nailing contests that they used to run up with a nail and a hammer, hammer it in and come back, and then hand it off to the next guy, and they would come back. And the loser would have to do the opening ceremony. And they hated doing the opening ceremony. And then they got to be good at it. So now I put screws. So they had to take a screw with a screwdriver, run, put it in the wood, come back. It was a little more difficult. And now they, when I was asked by the supervisor, what page are you on the blue and gold book? So I'm impressed, I says 176. She said, the blue and gold only goes up to 152. Oh, she said, maybe you shouldn't be teaching Cub Scouts anymore. But if I had to do it, I'd do it again, because these guys have these great skills. I remember once even showing them something about physics. I put a hook and a little bench, and we wound it around to do mechanical advantage. The more loops you put in, the bigger the mechanical advantage it is. So we would put Brian or Troy in that seat, and if you round it enough, you just pull down with two fingers, and you could lift that person. So they learned some physics. They didn't learn the blue and gold. You're the priest. I lost my CCD teacher since I didn't teach the kids the sorrowful mysteries of the rosary. But I did take them on bus trips. Where's Maureen Kuhn? You remember the bus trips?
Oh, definitely. That was the big excitement for Sunday.
The big excitement for Sunday. Then we took you to some of the churches. We had a bus. Believe it or not, we had a big yellow bus, the old St. James, and took them around too. I took them bowling for CCD. But then I used to have them come up, have them come up next to me when they were bowling and say, well, so how do you talk to Jesus this week? What? Who talks to Jesus? I just do all the time when I'm riding here. And then they got the idea about a different way of talking to Jesus, I think. I think one of the two of the people of the Brandons, I think he's the head coach now at New Wilmington. He was in our group. Just a few more. I won't give you page 2. I'll just do the first page. I was punished by the caddy master for giving the wrong club to golfers I didn't like. I guess we have some golfers here. I have voted for the loser in virtually all presidential elections since JFK. I lost 32 consecutive handball matches to my cousin Nunzio. Ed O'Neill, you know who Ed O'Neill is? He was a student at Youngstown State University, and he played handball. and he was a Class A champ, but you needed someone to play with. And I regularly lost by scores of 21-2 and 21-3. And I said, Ed, why do you have to beat me so badly? He says, you know what? You go for the donut. I says, really? He says, when I go out there, it's full steam ahead all the time. I want to beat you 21-0, full steam ahead. And in handball and in life, you go for the donut. And that's why Duke lost last night, because they led up, and when they were ahead by 10 points, they didn't give their maximum performance. I saw it coming. I turned off the TV. I said, they're up 10 points. They're slowing down because they want to chew at the clock. They're going to lose. They lost. I crashed my Vespa scooter in Italy at age 25, receiving no injuries, while playing my brother's band in Newark, New Jersey. I shouldn't put this in. Beer bottles were thrown at us. But we found out later, if they liked you in Newark, New Jersey, they throw a beer bottle at you. We were an all-white band in a very, very black neighborhood. It's called the Ironbound section of Newark, where they had those riots. And they admired us. They said, how could you possibly come here, an all-white band? He says, it's a good thing that you're good. This is a tough neighborhood. It's not tough as this. No. Well, he says, last week we had 2 killings, 3 knifings, 14 burglaries, and that was a slow week. We were banned in the band, remember, John, in Newark, Irvington, because we wouldn't pay the local union dues. Remember, they took our equipment and put it out. Well, during the break, they took out our band equipment. All the stuff there was laying out on the street corner. I turned down early big investments in Google and Apple. I failed the calculus course, which was prerequisite to a multivariate linear regression statistics course. So I had to take an exam in calculus, and I taught myself a little calculus to pass the test. You're not going to believe this. There's a book called Dummies, Calculus for Dummies, and that got me through. And finally, here's a quote from the author, Harry Potter author. The knowledge that you have emerged wiser and stronger from setbacks means that you are ever after secure in your ability to survive. So I used to tell the students, and I'd give them a resume. You're going to fail at a lot of things. But we have a motto in our house: never, ever, ever, ever. Is there an echo in here? Never, ever, ever give up. And the final story I'll tell you, I took my daughter skiing when we went up to Whiteface Mountain, the Olympic mountain. I said, let's ski down the major slalom. She said, Dad, we'll fall down 15 times. This is the precipitous. Now, if you don't know what precipitous is, ask Kathy Gabriel Adino. She knows every word in the English language. I can define it. Anyway, I said, we'll fall down. Well, we went and we fell down. He said, what we're going to do is we're going to put in our straps on the skis and get up and down and reach the thing. So in skiing and in life, it doesn't make any difference how many times you fail or you fall, but how you get up with new vigor and reach the finish line and reach your goal. I'm not going to show you the next 5 pages of my failure. I originally didn't want it as a surprise. Here, somebody is saying, here's the boss saying, hey, Steve, or Chris. This celebration is actually a celebration for Gene and for me, because we do things as a team, as a family. We celebrate, we venerate together, and we commiserate together. And I think the reason why we're here is let's do something for Pete, because this guy has so little talent. He has to live in the shadow of Gene.
Let me give him a big party.
Yeah, so thank you, Gene, for playing this, but I got another 50 minutes. Thank you.